Good evening everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Wednesday the 19th of April 2023 and tonight, for the first time in a long time actually, I'm heading back to the Riverside Stadium. It is Middlesbrough versus Hull City in the Championship. So, just walking down to the stadium now, going into this game tonight. Borough are currently in 4th place in the Championship table, and but for a pretty spectacular capitulation now from Sheffield United, they're not going to go up automatically. However, I personally think it is important that you do carry as much form and as much confidence as you possibly can into the playoffs. I think a lot of the time you find that the team that is carrying that form and what have you quite often does pretty well in the playoffs, and I think that's possibly even more of a factor than the position in the table that you actually finish in. So yeah, it's important that Borough keep it going tonight. I think this is a game that really they'll be expected to win. Hull are currently in 16th place, probably not going to get in the playoffs now. I think it's probably going to be way too much of a stretch for them for that, but certainly can't see them going down either, so they're maybe a little bit on the beach now, sort of tailoring their plans towards next season. So could that work in Borough's favour? You never know. This isn't the Championship. It is known for being a pretty mental league where the obscure results can crop up at any given time, but I don't know. I just get a feeling Borough might actually do it when it comes to the playoffs. I just think Michael Carrick has done an absolutely superb job since he's come in. But I think whether Borough go up or not, they need to sort of learn from mistakes they've maybe made in the past. I think when Warnock came in, there was a new manager bounce that seemed to last for quite a while. Same with Chris Wilder. Then it all just seemed to go a little bit south. I just think it might be different with Carrick. I think there's maybe a bit of a long-term project going on this time. If they don't go up this year, okay. It's the playoffs, it happens, but just need to maybe stick with him, just have as much faith in him as possible, because he has learned from the best. Let's be real, but at the same time he is still a young manager. He is going to make mistakes, so I honestly think it is exciting times for Borough, and really looking forward to this game tonight. Let's head on down to the Riverside Stadium and find out how it all unfolds. I'm in. So one thing you've got to do when you come to the Riverside is get a Parmo in a bun. Given that I think the majority of my audience are from the northeast, they'll probably know what Parmos are anyway, but if you don't, it's essentially a Teesside. I won't call it a delicacy anymore. I can get them pretty much all over the place now, but it's a pretty native thing to Teesside. It is essentially a chicken fillet covered in breadcrumbs, bechamel sauce, and a layer of cheese as well. It's absolutely the best thing about living around here, really. So yeah, just going to tuck into this, then we will head up into the stand. So here come Hull to warm up. I think they're going to be in the usual amber and black tonight. Still waiting on Borough. Now here come Borough, of course, going to be in the usual red this evening. Anyway, I'll see you when the players are coming out of the tunnel. So I got it slightly wrong. Hull are going to be in a change strip of white this evening. What's in? Half-time, Middlesbrough 0, Hull City 1. I'd say it's pretty self-inflicted, this from Borough. They had a lot of chances sort of in the first 10-15 minutes, but since then I'd say it's been a very lazy performance on their behalf, and I've got to say Hull just look as though they wanted that bit more, and after a while it felt a bit too obvious what was going to happen. This is going to be a big test for Michael Carrick tactically at half time. Like he needs to find a way to just get his players more fired up for a start, and look into ways to breaking this Hull side down, because Hull are going to make it frustrating in the second half. Like, I think that's pretty obvious. It's just down to Borough now to just see if they can have that bit of extra quality to get back into the game. But right now we just question where's that spark going to come from. But you never know. There is still 45 minutes, so games can change very quickly. But for Borough, it really needs to change. I think if they can get a goal in the first 20-25 minutes of the second half, and I'd fancy them to go on and win the game. But as I said, like right now it's difficult to see where that spark is going to come from. minutes of added time at the end of this game. Full time, Middlesbrough 3, Hull City 1. I think that second half showed exactly why I think Borough are going to win the Championship playoffs this year. The fact that they turned it on really almost out of nowhere. I said at half time that they maybe needed a bit of a kick up the arse, and that's evidently what they got, because they came out for that second half. I think they did the right thing really in just pinning Hull back as much as they possibly could. I think the issue in the first half was Hull were pretty much playing them at their own game, pressing very high, and Borough just didn't really have an answer for it. But in the second half, I can't really remember Hull having a genuinely meaningful effort on goal. I mean, there's one sort of in the early stages that was dragged wide, but that's as good as it got for them really. Then Borough just started to absolutely batter them. Let's be honest about it. I think the introduction of Isaiah Jones into the game was a key factor. I think he gave them a bit more of a new sort of dimension, sort of down the flanks and what have you. And that's, like, you look at the way the equaliser came, and the way the third goal from Chuba Akpom came. It was that bit of spark that they were maybe crying out for in the first half, really. Because I think the first half it was a very low tempo kind of game, and it was obvious that Borough needed to just raise the levels a bit and do that. They certainly did, and the crowd, they really responded to that, and I just think just everything about the second half just made Hull just, I won't say cave in. I just think they were just totally outplayed, and genuinely, I don't think it would have surprised anyone if it had ended up being 5 or 6 or something like that. I mean, for me as a sort of spectator of the game, it's interesting being in the South Stand tonight and right up close to the Hull fans as well. It made for a pretty decent atmosphere, to be fair. I think there wasn't a massive amount of Hull fans, but the ones that were there, in fairness to them, did make a pretty decent amount of noise. And obviously the Borough fans in the second half, as the sort of performance on the pitch sort of raised its levels, the noise in the stands certainly did as well. So I've had a lot of fun making this video tonight. Actually, it's probably been the most enjoyable one that I've made in a few weeks, and hopefully the overall end product reflects that and you've enjoyed it. I mean, when it comes to football league games, I'm trying to sort of show sort of the fan culture a little bit more. It's a bit more difficult to do with that in non-league, of course, but in the football league, it's it's a little bit easier. And I think obviously when I go abroad in a few weeks' time, it'll those videos will be heavily fan culture orientated. But enjoyed that tonight, and that is that for this video, and I'll be back on Friday, and it is back to non-league with the second Billingham derby of the season. This time it is at Billingham Town, of course, up against Billingham Synthonia. So looking forward to it. Until then, take care, cheers for watching, and I'll see you later.